In this video, I'm going to walk you through the basics of Elementor. All you need to know about one of the best page builder that we have in the WordPress library. And this video, we're going to cover everything you need to know, from the basic setup to setting pages and all. And yeah, this is an example of something we're going to be creating using your Elementor. Now, if you're seeing this video for the first time, my name is Matthew Brown from Zipfly Studios, and this is part of our WordPress beginners course series that we have running here on YouTube. So if you want to have access to other videos we've created, like getting your free hosting and domain, or probably getting your paid hosting and domain, which is highly recommended, or hosting WordPress on your local system or your local server, which is on your computer, we have all of that in the playlist. So just do well to check on the description. You're going to find all of those videos. But here in this particular video, I'm going to be showing you the basics of Elementor and how to use this page builder to create your own kind of website. And this will touch across the advanced, the basic, and a few other things that you probably want to know about. Then lastly, we'll go into talking about Elementor Pro. And yeah, so at this point, I would advise you subscribe, follow, and just click on that bell icon and leave a comment if you have any recommendations of videos you want us to do next. So let's get into it. So for us to achieve this, what we've done is we've gone ahead to create a fresh new WordPress website. It's blank, no theme, no plugin, just a few pages, and this is just a blog. All right, so if you follow that series so far, you will understand at this point that your WordPress site comes in post form and you have to change it to static if you want to make it a static website. But that's that. Now, this is your WordPress dashboard and this is a new installation. So there are a few things we want to talk about. So first of all, we are going to plug in to download our Elementor plugin. Now, Elementor is a page builder. It helps you edit your WordPress website. It's a drag and drop page builder, and you're going to see in a moment why we say it's a drag and drop. It's one of the best. They're easy to learn and anybody can use it. So once you come here, I want you to search for Elementor. You're going to find here, we're going to click on install. So activate this plugin. Now, Elementor will prompt you to create an account with them, but I don't normally do that. I'll just click on plugin as move as guest. So I'm going to skip this, then continue with free. Now you could go ahead to create an account if that's what you want to do. Because for you to use the free AI website builder with Elementor, you probably will need to create an account to achieve that. But remember, it's just a free trial. And remember, this is our website currently. So what we want to do is I come to this place. Before we come here, I want you to exit to WordPress. Now, from the website we are creating here, right, you will notice that we have 3 pages: home, about us, and all. So WordPress is made up of multiple pages, right? So it's just a stack of different pages that makes up a website. So each page has an information that wants to be passed to you. And so this is just the home page, right? The first section is called the hero section. It passes across the message of what the website is about before your user starts scrolling. And so it is very important to make this work very well. So let's go back here. Now what we want to do is to click on pages here. And we're going to click on create the first page we're going to be editing, and this is where we're going to show you everything you need to know about Elementor. We're going to click on add, and we're going to call this home, then publish. So the next thing I want you to do is to come to appearance. We need to change our WordPress theme. Now WordPress comes with a basic theme, like we have the hello theme, we have 2025, 2024, and the likes. But I want us to use a different theme. So we're going to click on add theme. And this is a basic theme if you don't want to use premium themes. So we're going to be downloading Ocean WP. It's one of the best recommended theme if you just want to build from scratch. It has high customization and it's easy to customize the theme. So we'll go with that. All right, now the theme is activated. What we need to do next is we're going to come to settings. We're going to come to reading under settings. And we're going to change this to a static page, right? Not the blog. Then we're going to select home as our first page. Simple page should be our blog page. Then click on save changes. You could create as much page as you want. After you do that, I want you to come back to pages. I'm just going to right click on it and open in a new separate tab. Now if we come here and we refresh this, the front end, this is our home page, right? So once we are here, you're going to find the home page. It's going to be reading front page. We're going to click on edit. You're going to find this option called edit with Elementor. You're going to click on it. All right, so I'm just going to cancel this up, then click on got it. Now this is your Elementor workspace, right? And to the left here, you have your Elementor toolbar. This is where you're going to find all the tools we're going to be using for Elementor. Then here we have a preview screen, so you could actually see what you're working on directly. And every changes you make here, it will be effective here, right? Then here you have stock. This is an easy way to see all the arrangements of your design, so you're going to find them here. Then here we have history. You're going to see all of the changes you have implemented. You could be able to go back and forth, right? Then we have your page settings here. Here you're going to find the title of your page. You can always change it here. You're going to decide if you want to publish, right? Then if you want to allow comment on a page, yes. But one of the things we're going to do is we're going to hide the title of this page. Then we're going to make the layout Elementor full width so that the layout will be spread across the screen, right? And this is good. Make sure that every change you make, you're going to publish it. Now you're going to notice this will also be implemented here. Now, for us to build exactly what we have here, I need to tell you a bit about how Elementor works. Now, Elementor works with three things, where you have the editable window where you're going to be finding, where you're going to be dragging your tools into this window and you're going to see the changes take place. Then you're going to be finding the different tools here, which are called widgets or elements, right? So these tools, you either call them widgets or you call them elements. Elementor released a new feature called the atomic element, and I can show you how this works. It's easy, but what I will do is, for proper knowledge, I'm going to take you back to the proper Elementor tools. And because of that, I'm just going to go back a bit to just show you how that works, right? So for instance, we're going to come back here and I want you to come to Elementor. You're going to click on editor and you're going to click on settings. You're going to find this atomic editor. So just come here and click on it here. Then we're going to deactivate. All right, so once you're there, once you're done with that, you want to refresh this. All right, so you can cancel this. You also have the option to activate, but we don't want that. All right, so this is a WordPress proper layout and proper toolbar, right? Now your toolbar is made up of your section, column, and your widget or element, right? So first of all, if you want to make any design, you want to click on this plus icon and we go with Flexbox, because Flexbox gives us the ability to edit each of the section in a very beautiful way. So we're going to click on this and we're going to choose this. Now I'm going to explain this direction column and direction row, right? But first of all, let's click on it here. Now you have this. So this pink box here is called a section, right? It's called the section. And you edit this section by clicking on the 6 dots here. Now, within a section, you can put what we call a container. Now, this container, you can see it's more of a gray color, right? And this container is what we'll be putting our elements inside. You could directly put an element within a section, but you don't have to worry about that. I just want you to follow and just get to grasp the name of each of this. Then we have this called element or widget. Now we have what we call the text element. You can drag in a text element or a widget, whatever one you want to go with, and you could just type anything, right? But before that, before we type anything, whenever you use an element, you get three options here. We have the content. This is going to be the text or the image you're going to be adding. We have the style, where you could add some styles to it. Like for this, you have the ability to increase your font size, change your fonts, increase the width, which is more making it bolder. You have transformation, making it uppercase, lowercase, depending on what you want. You could give line height, line spacing, and the likes of it. You could also change the color of your text. Now, the next part is your advanced. This is where you have more of a layout part, where you can give it a margin top, margin bottom. You take it up, take it down. You could also give paddings and a whole lot more. After the layout, you have other options like transformation, motion effects to give it a slide in, slide out, fade in, and all of those stuff. Then we have your background and all. But you're going to be seeing them happen right in front of you and you have a proper knowledge of it. So first of all, what we'll need to do is to click on the plus icon here and we're going to choose Flexbox. And we're going to be choosing two columns. Right, so we have column 1 and we have column 2, right? And this is the section. Under this section, you can use to edit everything within the section. And once you click on the column, you can edit everything within the column. You need to get it. Now, your section, anything that is found within the section can be edited here. anything that is found within the column can be edited here. And when we put a widget or an element within each of these box, you can edit that with its own icon. So I'm going to show you how that works. So for us to create this particular website, we need to put in a heading text, a small text. We also need to put in an image here and two buttons. But I'm going to show you how all of this works. So the first thing we want is to bring in this text. It's called the heading. So I'm just going to copy the content on this website. All right, so we're going to come here and paste that. Now, once we have this, we'll come to style. First of all, we're going to make the text, what color are they making use of? White. But because our background is white already, so we're just going to make it black for now. We'll always get the option to change it. Then under typography, we're going to make it popping. So you could choose any font type that suits whatever design you are making. Then I'm going to increase this to increase this. Right now, we're also going to drag within this to expand this. Now under this text, we're going to pick in a text editor, which is just your body text, right? So we're going to come here and copy this as well. Paste it here. Come back here, and we are going to use black. Under typography, we are going to make this 18, and this is fine. Now we're going to click on the plus icon, which is for us to add a new element. We're going to drag the image L box here. You can see why it's called the drag and drop. We just drag and drop it into the editing window. So just going to open file. So these are some of the images I already have. So I'm going to select this image right there, the smooth. So we're going to put it here. All right, you're going to notice that our website is already taking shape. If I publish this and let me bring this here, just refresh this. See that everything is coming together, right? The next thing we want to do is we're going to add buttons. So we have two buttons here. So we're going to add two buttons. And for us to do that, we need to come back here on the plus icon. And because we want these buttons, I need to put this side. We want the button to be side by side. What we have to do is to pick up a container, right? This container is going to be a Flexbox. Now, once you are here, I want you to come to the plus icon and choose button. Right, you're going to pick a button, and the one is called ship a package. So I just call this ship a package, and the other is called track your order, right? So what we're going to do is to come here on the pencil icon. Remember, for us to, so this is an element. For us to edit the elements, we'll come to the pencil icon. I want to duplicate it. I'm just going to click on duplicate here. Then on the second one, I'm going to write track your order. So we have it here. Now, this is where Flexbox is really good. So for us to edit these two, we are going to be clicking on the container here, and you're going to see it's Flexbox. Make sure it's Flexbox, right? Now you're going to scroll down. You're going to find this direction. We have row, we have column, we have row reverse, column reverse. So row reverse means you're going to put them side by side. If you put column vertical, it's going to come here, right? So we're going to be using row to put them side by side. Now we're going to edit each of the buttons. So one is having a blue color, right? And one is transparent. Okay, so we're going to make this, you can see the text color white, the background color here, we're going to make it blue, right? Then on this other one, we're going to make the color transparent. So come to style, just drag this here out. But for you to see the shape, first we have to make the text color, make it black. Then you're going to scroll down. You're going to see this option called border type. We're going to use solid and just tap one. Right. So it gives it this shape. Now for us to effect hover. So if you hover over the text, it should have some effect. So for the text for hover, we're going to make it black. Then the background color, just make it transparent, right? So you can see it here, it becomes transparent. But also we need to add a border to it. So scroll down. So border color should be black as well. Then remember border type solid. Then we're going to give it 1. Now if you decide that you want to make a button not square like this, you want to make the edges curved. So you could come here and see border radius and just increase it. Now you're going to see the effects, right? So let me just shift out of here. I can see that this has a rounded edges. So that's how to achieve all of this, right? So you just implement the same process here. So we come back here to do almost the same thing. So we are going to pick for the hover. We're going to make the text white. Then the background color, going to make it blue. Now, if we want to maintain the same color, right? What you want to do is come here. You're going to choose the color. You're going to find the color code here. So I'm just going to copy it so that I can implement it here. So we're just using similar color to run through. So when I come to hover here, under the color, I'm just going to put this. Now we have similar colors. Okay, so we're going to publish this. Refresh here. And you can see everything is coming to shape. Now, there are a few things you want to do. So let me quickly show you how you want to add links. So I'm just going to go back to the back end of my website here. So just going to go here and go back to the dashboard. Then we're going to create a new page. We're going to call this page the About Us page. So I'm going to click page, you click on add page. Then we just call it About Us. Right, I'm going to publish the page. But we're not going to be editing it. You can take your time to explore and do it. So, but I'm going to go to view. So I'm just going to cancel this. So this is the link of the page. I'm going to copy it up. Then I'll come back here. Now, when somebody clicks on, let's say, shipping package, right? And I just want to add the link. Let's say I have a page for them to track their order or a page for them to go to. I'm just going to copy the link the same way I copy this and put it here. Then click on publish. Right, so that's the easy way to add a link to each button, right? Because buttons are just are just CAT, right? For your clients or your customers to actually take actions. Now, this is done, but there are a few things we want to implement. First of all, we want to have a different background. Remember what I said, that you can edit the whole thing within a section from here. So you click on it, you're going to come to style, you're going to find background. So click on classic. You can either change the background by color, right? Or you can actually use gradients. Gradient is a combination of two colors to achieve something beautiful, right? So depending on what you want, then you could always change the way each of them appear and all of that. But we're not going to be using gradients. I want to just go with. So lastly, there are videos. You could actually use videos as your background as well. So I have a few videos here that has to do with delivery. So what I would do is copy, and you're going to find, I'm going to share the link. So first of all, you need to upload your video directly on YouTube first of all, then copy the YouTube link and just paste it here. And you can have the video playing in the background. But for us to make it feel really smooth and good, what I could do is to come here and make our text white. Text color will be white. Then we could make this white as well. Then under the section, I'm going to come here. Then you're going to find this option called background overlay, because we have a bit of conflicting background. So what I would do is to come here under classic. I'm going to choose color. And I'm going to make it dark. Right, so that the white background can actually show up well. Then we could come back to layout where we have our background where we have our videos. You could put on play once, play on mobile, privacy, and do a whole lot more. This is one of the good ways to actually add videos to your background and make it pop out. But the main goal for us is not to add a video. We just want to add a background image. So we're going to click on select this, and we're going to add this image, and here we go. But secondly, we don't want to include, like here, we can make our overlay transparent to see how it looks. Right, so we just make it a bit darker. All right, so this is good. So we're still editing the section here. What else we want to do is we want to make the position center, right? Then we also want to make our attachments fixed. What this means is, you see how it moves, the image stays, right? But this moves, just give it a smooth move. Then we'll come back here under this column. What we want to do is to give it a center alignment. So you can give it space in between center alignment, depending on what you want to do. Right. Okay, so we have this. Now, this is almost like what we have here, but a few things we need to do. So first, let's add the Zipfly Studios here. And for us to achieve this, we will come back here and pick heading. We drag it up here. See how easy it is? You're going to paste the texture. Then under start, you're going to align to the start. Okay, but first of all, let me come to column. Need to make some changes. So we're going to put this as here, so we can have this here. Then you could edit this the way you want, make it bold and all of that. So for this, we need to make the border white for this. So text, we're going to find border color, we're making it white. Now the thing with Elementor is, if you're learning Elementor, it's really easy, but you need to learn to explore and test all of the tools. So for example, one of the things you would want to know, you will notice about this, is that you have this effect here, right? Now the way to achieve it is simple. What you want to do is come to your section here, and you're going to close this up. You're going to find this shape divider, you open it up. Now we want it to be at the bottom, so we're going to choose bottom, and you're going to find that shape here. Right, you see how it is. Now you could decide to increase it, the width of the shape, right, or increase the height, depending on what you want to do, how you want yours to appear. All right, so we've been able to achieve that. See that everything is coming to effect. It's really simple, right? You need to just understand the section, right? So as we've talked about, the section is the pink, the column. We're going to be using Flexbox for everything we're going to do. So what else do we need to include? I think we've achieved 90% of this. Now we're going to go to the second part here. This will also give me an opportunity to explain this to you better. Right, so we want to do this trusted by 5,000 plus individuals and business. For us to achieve this, we need to open up a new section. So for us to do that is, we'll click on the plus icon. We're going to choose Flexbox, and we're going to be putting direction column. You could always change direction. Direction column means when it is down on column, what it just means is that whenever you are adding an element, the element will go in a vertical form, right? So once I put this text here, and if I want to add another element within this box, and I say, okay, let me add a heading, you will notice it can only go down, right? But if we decide to use a vertical direction rule, so remember it's direction column we use the row. If we decide to put an element within it, if I put the heading, you notice where it comes in. If I come and decide that, okay, I want to put a text, it doesn't go down, it goes to the side, right? So if I put a text here, it goes to the side. You see how we have it, right? So that's just a way for you to know. So we're going to pick this, and we're going to pick. So what we have here is, we have a heading and stuff here. So we're going to pick this, and you want you to click on the plus icon, and you're going to pick the heading text, right? And okay, so I just need to copy this text quickly. So just about 5,000 plus individuals and businesses, we center this. We're going to make the text black, right? You can increase the font size, make it bold. The next thing we want to do is that we want to make sure that we have space between the text, this hero section, and the next section. So I'm just going to right click on the section point here. Yeah, there are two ways to do it. You can come to advanced, right? There are more than two ways actually. And you could do the margin to the top. So you're going to give it a space. We like to maintain 50. So I just want to maintain 50. Or you could use the space to do it. So once we've done this, the next thing is, I want to add a container within this, but down. Then below the container, I'm going to go to plus. I'm going to choose the grid. Now grid, you could add multiple. So here, under this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 images. So you want to maintain 6 columns and a row. So row, we're going to make 1, and columns, we're going to make 6 of them, individual columns. So we come here, and we can add an image to each of them. So while the image loads, I'm just going to be adding them individually. So another thing I want you to make sure of is that make sure that the images you are adding are of the same size, right? They're of the same sizes. All right, you see how easy it was to just add all of this, right? So we have this all together. Now there are a few things you could do. There are a few things you could just play around with. You could come here and just play around with the style of this, but don't change any of this. Come to advanced. You could play with something like the motion, right? Add a animation, the eyes that just blinks like that, and you could do them for each of these, right? Now, this is how you could use, this is how to use Elementor, right? Or this is basically how you want to make use of Elementor. And I just needed to show you this because this is really good, especially if you're interested in learning to design with Elementor or with WordPress. So once you do that, I want you to come to the section here. Then you're going to find on the layout, I want us to make this full width, right? Now, I want to, okay, let's just go with the box. Okay, full width is fine as well. There's a reason I want it to be full width because I want it to go across the screen. Now I want to increase the height of this, right? So if I publish this, the height is really small compared to what we have here, right? So I want to increase that. For me to achieve that, I'm going to increase this mini height, right? So I don't want it to go too high. Okay, this is fine. I'm going to publish this. Refresh this here. Now, secondly, I want to make this text and this to be at the center, right? So normally we can achieve that here by justifying to center, right? But if it doesn't work, right? If it doesn't work the way it is here, you could just justify the individual container. So, right, you see it here. So we're going to do the same here for this center, and this is perfect. So we're going to publish this. If you come here, we're going to refresh. And voila, we have this. The side is looking really good. Now, if you want to have some space at the side here, the same way we have for this, you have the space here. You're going to achieve that simply by coming to the column. That's the container here. You see advanced. Then you check this to unlink all this. Then you're going to do margin to, I think, margin to the left. All right, like I said, for me to achieve this, I will just come here, make sure to click on this. Then we're going to advance. Then I'll make sure you uncheck this on the this left. I'm going to increase it, just move it to the side. Right, then we publish. Now this is basically how to do all of the editing in Elementor using your container, the sections, and the likes. There are a whole lot of things you want to do. Like if you want to add animations, you want to come, let's make sure you pick one of these, come to advance here. You're going to find this option called effect, motion effect. Then you could see default, so you're going to put fade down, so you see how it is. You could implement this for everything that you want. So this is basically how to do all of that. Then I'll also advise you to just explore the whole thing. There's so much things you could do. There's so much thing you could do. Like if you use the transformation, you can move this person anywhere. So you go to advanced, go to the transformation tab. If I go with the offset, I can move him left, right, just, you could always go back, right? Just explore and all of that. Now, there are a few things that you will be able to do when you're using Elementor Pro, right? If you're interested in getting it, I'll put a link in the description. You could check it out. But Elementor Pro can do a whole lot. Now, one of the few things is that you could add what we call custom CSS. Now, if you notice this, the way it's floating on the screen, this is custom CSS code. All right, yeah. For you to achieve it, you need to get Elementor Pro. Once you click here, you're going to find this advanced tab. So you're going to go scroll down, you're going to find custom CSS, and because this is free, you don't have access to that. But if you do have access to Elementor Pro, all you need to do to achieve that floating effect is to just go to Cloud Code. It's just to go to Cloud Code and tell it that it should write you a CSS code for a floating animation for Elementor. specifically, and it will be something like this. You just need to copy it and paste it there, and that's all you need to do. There are a whole lot of things you could do with Elementor Pro. Have access to do a whole lot, like to add what we call a custom header and footer, because every website comes with a header and footer, right? So basically your website moves, each of the page move, but one of the things that remain constant no matter where you go on your website is your header. So this is an header, but I'm using the transparent header here, and this is the footer, right? Now Ocean WP makes it easy for us to achieve this. So all we need to do is to come back here. You're going to see this option to customize. So Ocean WP is the theme we're using. It's a free theme we're using. So this is one of the reasons we actually use it, because of the customize feature. You have the ability to customize a whole lot on it. So here you could choose the topography, choose the color, you could choose style and settings, pages and special pages. So I want to remove this, right? So what I need to do is to go to pages and special pages. Then I'll scroll down on the page title. I'm going to deactivate it. So I'm just going to deactivate page title, and wow, we have this. Next thing I want to do is I don't want to have this block here, right? So first of all, we're going to talk about the header. Now we have general settings here. Now we are going to come back here. Custom heading, we don't have a custom header. So additional styling and settings here. So you could choose color, content and all. But let's do something quickly. Make your header background black, but we don't want to do any of this. First, let's handle. So we have header media. If you want to add a logo, you could do that here. We have your header menus, which is the first thing we need to do. Now, if you don't have a header menu, we need to create one, right? So let's go back to the back end here. So let's you're going to come to appearance. You're going to go to appearance. You're going to see this option called menus. Click on it. Now here you're going to create a menu. So we're going to call this main, right? And view all pages. Okay, first click create. So this menu will be on the main, to be on the footer as well, and just click on create here. Right, you also want to make it on your mobile. Now we only have two pages, so click on view all. So we have home, about us, and this. So click on add. Yeah, so we want this to be like this. Then click on save changes. Now we come back to customization and refresh it here. All right, so we're going to go to header. You can see that our menus have appeared here, the ones we just created, right? Click on menus. I want this to be black and I want it to be bold. So come back here. You're going to find your menu link. So this here, I want it to be black. Then I want this to have a blue color, right? Okay, sorry, this have a blue. This should be black. I want somebody hover over this, you could find the blue happening there. Then we also want to do a few things. So on the main menu, you're going to find this option here. You're going to choose your font type. So I like to go with Poppins. Now we're going to make this 700 thick. Then I want to make it an uppercase. So this is, let's go up, uppercase, right? Then you can put line underneath them if you want. Now you can see how it will appear on a mobile view. You can see it here. All right, so we just go back to desktop. So few other things we want to just do quickly. Add your social media. You could also view your mobile settings, how you want it to appear. Make some changes there, but I think my mobile view is properly okay. So let's go to general, header type. Now we're going to choose this. It's called the transparency. And this is how we have it here. Now, if we want to make it, we want to make it a white color, because basically it's black is not good. So we just have to go back to our menus here, and this, make it white. All right, so make sure to always publish. Now the same thing you want to do, you could do it for the footer. So what you want to do is click on this, we're still in header, find footer widget or footer copyright. This is where we have copyrights at Ocean WP. You could change it to copyright your name of your website, whatever you want to put, you could do it here, right? Then you have your menus here already. You could add other things to it, but one of the easiest way to actually go about this is just to use a plugin, right? There are a lot of plugins you could use to edit your menus on the WordPress plugin library, right? But this is just to show you how everything looks. We'll need to change this text to be white or black. All right, so you can do that yourself. So this is basically how to edit your website using Elementor. This is just a crash course on Elementor, every basic things you need to know about Elementor and all. You can implement this for all the pages on your website. Then we come back here and we refresh this. All right, we have this. Now you're going to find this small space here. It's called the top bar. Let's address that. So under, see the top bar here, you could add something on the top bar, but we don't want to. We just deactivate the top bar. Then we publish and we can refresh, and that's done. And we also have this line here. If you want to maintain the line, you can leave it. If you don't want to, because as well change it. It's called that line. You find it under your header, the general settings, border, bottom, and that is gone. So that's all you need to do. So once more, thank you. My name is Matthew Brown. If this video have been helpful to you, don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. And if you've been following the series so far, this is awesome. So in our next video, I'm going to show you properly how you could actually build your website as a business owner or individual at a click of a button. And we're going to be using Ocean WP. I'm going to be using what we call templates. I'll walk you through how template works, how you could use it, and you'll be able to set up your website in no time. So it's just a snap of a finger, you have your website up and running. So if this interests you, don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. The video is going to be out tomorrow, but if as of the moment you're seeing this video, check out the next one on the playlist. You probably will find the next one where we talk about setting up your website using templates, and this is way faster, way easier, and less stressful. So yeah, thank you, and I'll catch you in the next video.